Matt, shoot me a text when there's a 1:30-second commercial left. I was slow on the trigger with my timer, so I'm a little behind here.
14, Braden McNeil. And number 7 for Auburn, Troy Cherney. Auburn to receive, West Jenny to kick off. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the playing of the national anthem?
Auburn Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak, serious local attorneys. This first quarter brought to you by Tompkins Trust, your fully local, totally mobile community bank. By SUNY Morrisville, a hands-on education, just the beginning at SUNY Morrisville. Learn more at morrisville.edu. And by the Brew Funeral Home. Call Sam Darling at 315-253-6293 and find out about funeral pre-planning. Steve Penstone with you at Holland Stadium. Matt Meckley engineering the broadcast tonight at the Mothership in Geneva. Tonight, it's still the afternoon. 5 o'clock kickoff for this afternoon. And the West Genesee Wildcats won the toss. They declined. And we'll get the ball to start the second half. The Maroons will start with the football. They will defend the end zone to our north in their home maroon uniforms. And the wind will be at their back in the first and third quarter. As it comes out of the northwest, it's died down just a little bit. Scott Fura will do the kicking for West Genesee, and the Maroons football season is underway. A squib kick up the middle, and it is gathered up by Deshaun Strachan, and Strachan out to midfield. Ball's fumbled, and it rolls forward into West Genesee territory and is recovered by Robert Morris. So a lucky break for the Maroons right off the bat. And they will take over first possession at the West Genny 45-yard line. Troy Cherney, the senior, at quarterback.
At quarterback for the Maroons.
105 of 191, a 55% passing completion ratio. 1,595 yards through the air, 18 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, and he's throwing on first down. Little hitch pass out to the left seam to Sean Strachan with lots of running room, and he's inside the 30 and brought down on the far sideline at the 26-yard line. 19-yard pickup for Deshaun. And the Maroons on the move right off the bat. Ball spotted at the 26 on the far hash, left side of the field. Maroons going left to right. Cherney operating out of the gun. I think we're going to see that. Trips right to the near side. And another pass. Now he tucks it in, and he's going to roll up the middle, and he is inside the 25 down to the 20, and we'll see where they mark it.
19-yard line.
At the 20 for a pickup of 6. Good start for Auburn. Second down, 4 to go. And we have played just over a minute. Ball at the Wildcats 20. Just inside the far hash. Eli Benson in the tailback position to the right of Cherney. And a fake, and Cherney up the middle, and he puts his head down, bowls his way inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Troy Cherney just absolutely destroyed the linebacker. I didn't catch who it was for the Wildcats as he dropped the shoulder down, and he's down to the 2-yard line, and it's first and goal. 24-yard romp for Troy. And the Maroons threatening right off of the bat. And Amelia Bartolotta better get the leg loosened up. Cherney drops under center. 3-back set. And the handoff to the tailback. And Davari Agee got stuffed back at the 5-yard line, so a loss of 3. Big Davari coming into the season, 64 carries for 472 yards and 7 touchdowns, most of those in short yardage situations last season.
Second down and goal.
So second and goal from the 5. Cherney back under center. Again, the 3-back set. And again, they give it to Big Agee, and he plows his way up the middle. Carries about 8 white uniforms down to the original line of scrimmage at the 2. And it's going to bring up third and goal with 9.5 minutes left in this opening quarter as Cherney looks over to the sideline for the play.
Ball resting at the 1-yard line.
Ball spotted just in between the 1 and the 2. Coach talking about the inexperience of the team, a very young squad, and a lot of that is up on the front line as Cherney back under center. And now a rollout and a pass and a touchdown. Jeremiah Phillips on the receiving end. Great play fake by Cherney.
2021 season.
And it is 6-0 Maroons. And history in the making here as Cherney will hold for Amelia Bartolotta, who will attempt her first point after. And she is ready. Good snap, ball's down, the kick is up, and it is good, no good.
No good.
Oh boy. A little wide right. And coach said that she was going to have some butterflies, and that was the case there. So, with 8 minutes and 58 seconds left in the opening quarter, Auburn goes on top 6-0. We'll step aside for 1 minute, be back to more Maroons football on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com. by Benson with a squib kick for Auburn, taken by
Downs the ball at
upman Marcus Voigt, and West Genesee will have their first possession at their own 22-yard line.
First and 10.
Maroons go 45 yards in 5 plays, capped off by the 2-yard touchdown pass from Troy Cherney to Jeremiah Phillips. The point after missed, and it is 6-0 Auburn. And Braden McNeil goes to work out of the gun. And a toss sweep here is Xavier Brumfield, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. Omar Bailey with the tackle.
Taken down for a loss on that play. Looks like about second down and about 14.
Loss of 4 on the play. Brings up second down 14, 8.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
The quarterback for West Jenny.
Brumfield to the left of McNeil. McNeil to pass on second down, and he airs it out down the sideline, and that is too far for the intended receiver.
McNeil's pass to number 6, Mueller, is incomplete.
Jacob Mueller, the senior, unable to catch up with that pass on the fly pattern down the far sideline, and it brings up third down and 14. So the Maroons off to a good start on both sides of the ball with the 4-yard drop on the Brumfield. Incomplete pass brings up third down. West Jenny going right to left here in this first quarter. Spread formation. Braden McNeil out of the gun. Scrambles to his right. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's got some room. He's got the first down and more, and he'll step out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Pick up a 15.
34, 35-yard line, and that'll be a West Jenny first down.
And that's enough for a first down as the left side of the Auburn defense was collapsing into the middle, and Braden McNeil got it turned upfield, and he had lots of room to rumble for the first down. 8:09 to go, first quarter, 6-0 Auburn. Ball on the far hash as the Wildcats go right to left. Split I formation. And there's a handoff to Brumfield as he dances to the line, and he's going to be wrapped up for a loss of a yard. And Jeremiah Phillips steps up.
Phillips on the stop for Auburn. A gain of 1 yard.
Phillips coming into the season, 22 tackles. And boy, he really stepped up as the last season wore on. I'm trying to think how far back that was, 2019. Of course, he has the touchdown that has Auburn on top, and play action pass dumped off to the tight end, and another good defensive play this time by Troy Cherney coming up from his cornerback or safety position rather, and he takes out the feet of Nelson Hudgens, the tight end, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so the 1-yard pickup brings up third and 10. And we've got a timeout called by Auburn. 7:02 to go in the first quarter. The Maroons up by a score of 6-0 over West Genesee, and we'll take a 30-second timeout and be back to Auburn Maroons football from Holland Stadium on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com. West Genesee facing a 3rd and 10 at their own 33-yard line with 7:02 to go in the opening quarter, and the Maroons on top 6-0 on the 2-yard touchdown reception by Jeremiah Phillips. Point after by attempt by Amelia Bartolotta, wide right. set to resume play. Ball on the far hash for the Wildcats. McNeil in the gun. Now he audibles. Two receivers wide each side. And here comes the blitz. And the pass is too far for Nicholas Louise as he was in behind the defense. And that'll bring up fourth down. So two incomplete passes.
He's thinking way too much. It's 2 in a row.
And the Maroons are going to get the football back. 6:56 to go in this opening quarter.
Man up. You're a senior.
Huggins back to punt for
Sean Strachan back at his 30-yard line. Hudgens stands at his 20. He'll be kicking into the wind. Flag comes down.
punt.
And a short punt. And it'll bounce out at about the 38-yard line, the 39. And we'll wait and see what the flag is.
And punt goes out of bounds at
I have
the
a feeling it might be Auburn lining up offside.
It will be 1st and 10.
No, it is West Genesee procedure call, so wait to see if that is declined. Or they're going to take them back 5 yards and they'll kick it over again.
Penalty called against West Jenny.
So things going Auburn's way so far in this opening quarter. Hudgens now back at his 15. High snap. And this is a little bit better end-over-end punt. But a short one, and it is down at the West Genesee 49. The wind just killed that one as Matt Donovan dove on the punt, and the Maroons for the second consecutive possession will start on West Jenny's side of midfield.
West Jenny 49-yard line.
First drive started on the 45 after the fumble on the kick return by Deshaun Strachan. That was recovered by Eli Benson, I believe it was. Cherney goes to work, low snap, and a loose ball in the backfield. It's picked up by Deshaun Strachan, and he's trying to find some running room, and he's going to be dropped for a loss all the way back at the 45-yard line.
That was recovered by Strachan. It's a 6-yard loss for Auburn.
I'm going to mark him down just outside the Auburn 45, so we'll call it a loss of 6. Second and 16. 6 minutes left in the opening quarter. Ball on the near hash as the Maroons work left to right. Here's Cherney to pass. Has time and has a man open and just past the outstretched hands of Zach Galbali, who was on the fly down the left sideline. Good coverage on the play by Dylan Patanza. And the incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 16 with 5:52 to go in this first quarter. So both quarterbacks yet to complete, pardon me, the 2-yard touchdown pass to Phillips. And Troy missing just a little to Galbali on that one. And now he'll send trips left on 3rd down. Benson beside him on the left. Troy fakes once and has a man wide open and again overthrows Galbali. There was nobody near him and he could have walked in. So Troy Cherney getting too much air under the ball twice in a row, and it brings up 4th and 16. And with the wind at his back, he's going to have to be careful in this first quarter and in the third, and he'll handle the punting duty standing at his own 35. And off the side of his foot. Diving on the ball is Caden Ketevlas.
Number 8,
And West Genesee will take
Ken
over
Holland.
at their own 18. So the Maroons go
Genesee
4 and out.
takes over at their own 18
Two
yard
missed
line.
opportunities
First and
by
10.
Cherney on the passes to Galbally.
What's that? I think we had it. There was still, if we had an outside backer, we could get a crack on him.
And Braden McNeil will go to work for the Wildcats. 2-back set as he works out of the gun. On first down, here's Brumfield straight up the middle and back to the line of scrimmage, and maybe not even that far.
Benson on the stop. for
Benson leading
Auburn.
the tackling for the Maroons. Eli up front along with Connor Mahuna, a couple of big hosses there as the Maroons go with a 3-4 defense. Trelon Daniels, I believe, is the other defensive lineman. Spread formation for the Wildcats. And play action, and keeping it is McNeil. He turns the corner and is chased out of bounds.
McNeil,
Good
the ball
pursuit
carrier.
by Jeremiah Phillips, and Phillips drags
Phillips on
McNeil
the
down
sack
after a
for
pickup
Auburn.
of 5 yards. So that brings up third down and 3rd down and 5 to go. Just under 5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Ball on the near hash mark. And McNeil to pass. And here come the blitz, and he is wrapped up from both sides. And Connor Mahunik first to get to him.
McNeil sacked by Mahonic and Benson.
Benson
for a
came
big
from the
loss
other
on
side,
that
and it
play.
was a McNeil sandwich back at the
Looks like about
14-yard line.
16.
So is that the goal side? Did you set that lock?
So this Auburn defense has come to play here this afternoon. 4:25 to go. And Hudgens stands at his 2. Strachan at the 42. Another flag on the punt. And Deshaun's going to take it. He's got a little room to gallop inside the 30. And bounces off a couple of players and is driven out at about the 28-yard line. A good return by Deshaun Strachan. And we'll wait to see what the flag is.
We have a flag on the field.
And another procedure call against West Genesee.
Penalty against the Wildcats. Illegal procedure.
And they'll decline this time. So the Wildcats go 3 and out thanks to the sack by Mahunik and Benson, and Auburn will take over 1st and 10 at the West Genny 25, leading 6-0. And we'll see if they can take advantage of the good field position with 4:05 to go in this opening quarter.
Yeah. You're exactly right, Coach.
Ball spotted on the near hash as the Maroons break the huddle. Robert Morris splits wide left to the far side. Deshaun Strachan to the near side, handoff, and plowing up the middle is Eli Benson, and he bounces off a couple of defenders and is able to keep plowing ahead for a gain of about a yard.
We're back on the stop for West Genny.
Eli just lowered his shoulder and sent a couple of white jerseys in the reverse. Now Cherney's going to work out of or under center. Split I formation behind him. Toss sweep to Benson. He'll try the left side. Gets it turned upfield, and he gets hauled down from behind at the 20-yard line. That could have been a horse collar tackle, and the flag does come down.
Wilsmeyer on the stop for West
So
Genny.
Eli picks up 4, and they're going to tack on more. 3:12 to go in this opening quarter.
There's a penalty on the field.
Tim, if this is on them, be ready for Fizz.
Ball spotted at the 19-yard line as the officials gather on the far side.
It looks like they're putting in a receiver.
Oh, it's a holding call against
Ready for
Auburn. Boy, from up here, I saw the horse tackle collar, horse collar tackle rather, around the shoulder pads. Maybe they're still discussing things, so I'm waiting for the official signal. A hold against the Maroons. And that is it. Wow.
Penalty called against Auburn for
So the 4-yard
holding.
pickup by Benson is wiped out.
Coming out, I think. Be ready for
And from the spot of the foul, the ball will be spotted on the
safety. Stay on top.
32-yard line. It was a late flag, and that's why I thought it was because of the horse collar tackle.
We got trips down here. Tell Vinny to stay on top of this.
So it is
Marcus just likes it.
17 yards to go, and Cherney's going to keep it right up the middle. And he is down to about the 21-yard line
The ball carrier.
for a pickup of 11.
On the stop for West Jenny.
He's a good player, man.
And that is going to bring up third down and
Gain
6.
of about 10 yards on that play.
2.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Ball spotted just inside the far hash mark. Maroons going left to right.
Hop the trips over here. You want him to roll it.
3 receivers wide right to the near side of the field. And a quick hitch pass. Here's Strachan. Sidesteps the first tackle, dips to the 20, and no further as he is wrapped up by a host of white jerseys. And that is going to be no gainer on him.
Cherney.
Either loss or no gain.
Lorenzi
The hitch
on
pass
the stop for West
to
Jenny.
Strachan. And that's going to bring up fourth down and 6 to go.
No gain on the play. It'll be fourth down.
Quarterback's hobbling.
Yep, he's hobbling.
Clock continues to wind down, a minute and a half to go, and Cherney's going to call a timeout. 1:29 left in the first quarter. Auburn 6, West Genesee no score. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be back to Auburn Maroons football from Holland Stadium on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com.
Yeah.
1:29 left in the first quarter. Auburn 6. And West Genesee no score on the 2-yard touchdown pass from Troy Cherney to Jeremiah Phillips. And speaking of Troy, he is testing that injured ankle that he hurt playing basketball. I think he missed 5 games for Coach Jim Marsh. He's back out there on fourth down, 4th and 6 from the West Genesee 21-yard line, and the Maroons will go for it. They'll send 3 receivers wide left to the far side. Eli Benson to the left of Cherney, who's in the gun. Fake, and there's Troy around the left side, and he's not going to make it as he is wrapped up shy of the first down. Peter Dwinell on the tackle for West Genesee. So the Maroons turn the ball over on downs,
Winnell on the stop for West Jenny.
and West Jenny will take over at their 19-yard line. .120 left in the first quarter. Lights on here at the stadium as
Jimmy got too high.
darkness starts to creep in. Ball on the far hash as the Wildcats go right to left in this remaining 1:20 in the quarter. Motion man is Louise. And McNeil to pass on first down, and he's going for Louise. And right through his hands, out near midfield.
McNeil's pass.
And an official down on the field.
Number 5.
I thought he
I
was down.
don't know how he wound up, but he gets a hand up from a couple of the Maroons. And he is a little weak on his feet as the training staff comes out to look after the back judge. The incomplete pass. I didn't see what happened, whether he got tripped up with one of the Maroons players or whether he just fell, but he is up talking to the trainers, and hopefully everything is okay. Looked a little wobbly as he got helped up by the Maroons. .113 to go in the quarter. And he tells the training staff he's ready to go and gets a hand from the fans and the players and the cheerleaders. So 2nd and 10 from the Wildcats 19, 1:13 to go in the quarter. Again, Louise comes in motion to the near side. This time, play action pass and a little dump off to the tight end. Here's Hudgens, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Complete to
So a pickup of 15 for Hudgens.
that'll be a West County first down.
What number 5?
Phillips on the stop for Auburn.
Hudgens coming in. He had one catch for 10 yards against CBA in the season opener. 1:06 to go in the quarter, and the ball on the near hash for the Wildcats. And here's Broomfield around the left side, and he's able to turn it up, and then is wrapped up and dropped by Delmar Goldsmith after a pickup of about 3, make it 4 yards.
He's taken down after a 3 or 4 yard loss. It'll be second down coming up.
Final minute of the quarter, and it's going to be 2nd down and 7. They spot the ball at the West Jenny 38. Split eye formation to the left of McNeil. And a sweep around the left end. And Ketevles, pardon me, another flag down as he gets out to his own 47-yard line. And it's going to be a holding call against the Wildcats, so that'll wipe out that run. Third penalty for the Wildcats here in this opening quarter, and that was a costly one.
Was that holding, guys? Did you see it?
It's tick.
Okay.
Spot of the foul was the 43.
He engaged and let go pretty quick.
Okay. Thank you.
And so it goes back to the West Genesee 33, 12 seconds to go in this first quarter, and it's going to be 2nd down and 11.
Hang on, Joe. The clock's rolling.
And we've got a timeout called by West Genesee. They're going to let the clock run out, rather. So the first quarter in the books, and it is Auburn 6, West Genesee no score. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with second quarter action. You're listening to Auburn Maroons football on 1590 AM, 98.1 FM WAUB, and online at FingerLakesDailyNews.com.
Yeah, no. It was a speed sweep. Yes, sorry.
What? No, they do. They do. They just never got called.
Mariners football presented by Michaels and Smolak, serious local attorneys. This second quarter brought to you by the Aversa Agency, where you want to be when you need an insurance policy, by Costas Bar and Grill, your home away from the Dome, and Auburn Community Federal Credit Union, online at auburnfcu.com.
Brumfield on the handoff for McNeil.
And Brumfield on the first play of the second quarter into the line for a pickup of about 2.
Auburn. A gain of 2 on that play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
3rd and 8 for the Wildcats, trailing 6-0 to the Maroons on the 2-yard touchdown pass from Troy Cherney to Jeremiah Phillips. Point after by Amelia Bartolotta, wide right. McNeil operating out of the gun. Wildcats going left to right here in this second quarter with the wind at their back. And McNeil to pass. Fires one over the middle, and that is caught on the slant pattern.
McNeil pass to
Tevley's,
number 6. Mueller is complete.
or check
for a
that, that
first
is
down.
Jacob Mueller, number 6.
Strachan on the tackle for Auburn.
Sean Strachan with the tackle. Mueller had a 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against CBA. Also caught one catch for 30 yards and a run for 4. And here is Brumfield with it. He's got some blocking, and he is to the Auburn 42, where he gets
Brumfield
stacked up
number 7, ball carrier.
by Robert Morris.
Morris and Bailey on the stop for
So it's a pickup of
Auburn.
2 for Brumfield. McNeil in the gun, split eye formation. Brumfield behind him. And a delayed, and a pass incomplete on the far side, intended for
Pass is
Louise.
overthrown.
McNeil on the rollout.
Number 5, Mueller. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
And the incomplete pass makes it 3rd and 8. 9:56 left in the first half.
What'd you say? What number? Is it the boundary, huh? Right to. You want to call timeout?
Maroons showing blitz, and we get a timeout called by West Genesee. 9:56 to go in the first half with Auburn on top 6-0. We'll step aside for 30. Be back to Maroons football from Holland Stadium on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
That's not bad.
9:56 to go, first half. West Jenny with a 3rd and 8 at the Auburn 43-yard line. And they'll send 3 receivers wide left to the far side of the field. Brumfield to the left of McNeil. 2-step drop, and he's going to air one out to the far side to Louise, and that falls short.
McNeil pass is incomplete to
So that's going to bring up 4th down.
Genesee.
And the Maroons will get the ball back.
Hey, Coach Goodland, go talk to Shawnee. Tell him to put his.
It'll bring up 4th down for
Both
the
quarterbacks
Wildcats.
having to deal with the stiff breeze out of the north that
Hudgens
is at the backs of the
back to
Wildcats here in this second
punt for
quarter.
West Jenny. Strachan back deep for Auburn.
Hudgens at his own 45 to kick to Deshaun Strachan, who's at his 10. And a short punt. And that's going to roll towards the goal line, and it's going to be downed at the Auburn 1 by Nathaniel Burkett. And the Maroons let that one go. They're going to mark it at the 2.
Punted
So a good pooch punt by
down at
Hudgens.
the Auburn 1-yard line by Burkett of West Jenny. Maroons take over first and 10 from their own 1.
Maroons had great field position their first 2 possessions. In fact, all 3 of them were on West Genesee's side of the 50. And now they start from their own 2. Going right to left here in the second quarter. Cherney in the gun, standing in the end zone with Benson to his right. Double pump over the middle and short of the intended receiver. That was Strachan out about the 8-yard line. And the incomplete pass brings up second and 10.
Coming up.
And Troy Cherney looks like he is struggling on that ankle. We'll have to keep an eye on that. He is noticeably limping as he sets for the play with 20 seconds left on the play clock. On low snap, and it is going to be a fumble and a safety.
Cherney recovers it, but he's down in the end zone.
Low snap, and Cherney unable, obviously, to get out of the end zone, and
That's a safety for West Tennessee.
it is now 6-2 with 9:31 to go in the first half, and Troy Cherney gingerly making his way to the sideline. So Benson is going to have to punt it away. And Troy is saying he doesn't need any help from the trainer, but he is in a little bit of discomfort walking around on the Auburn sideline.
30.
So Benson has it teed up at the 20.
Mueller
I watched this kid kick the ball 50 yards.
and Franzi are deep for the Wildcats.
Eli has it on the far hash, and he off the side of his foot, and it is recovered by West Genesee at the Auburn 30-yard line. And
Ball recovered by West
things went
Jenny.
right in the first quarter for the Maroons. Nothing going right for them here in the second. And with
Number 5,
9:25 left in the second quarter,
recovery for
on
the
the
Wildcats.
muffed
They're
kick
first and 10
by
from
Benson,
their Maroon
West Jenny
30-yard
takes
line.
over at the Auburn 30-yard line, trailing 6-2. So McNeil will try to take advantage of the good field position. Ball on the far hash. He's got Benson behind him. And Hudgens goes in motion from the slot position. Play action pass. And McNeil going for it all, and he overthrows the intended receiver, Nick Louise, down near the goal line.
Pass to number 5, Luisi is incomplete. Morris on the coverage for Auburn.
So Braden McNeil, who was 6 of 17 for 97 yards against CBA, having a hard time connecting with his receivers. I think he's just had the one completion to Mueller. And he had a hitch pass at the end of the first quarter to the tight end Hudgens. Louise goes in motion to the far side. And the handoff to Broomfield, and Broomfield brought down after a gain of one. He's struggled to pick up yardage against the Maroons defense.
That'll bring up third down.
Third down, 9 to go. 9 minutes left in the opening half. 6-2 Auburn. Touchdown catch by Jeremiah Phillips on the Maroons' first possession and a safety on their last one. And West Genesee facing third and long. Louise comes in motion to the near side. And McNeil looking for him over the middle, and actually the intended receiver was Ben Chamberlain, and he dropped that one in front of the coverage by Demetrius Herndon, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That'll bring up fourth down.
That's a great ball. What do you got, Coach? Which one?
1-5. Bench.
Ball spotted on the far hash. Two-back set to the left of McNeil, who's in the pistol. Play action pass, he rolls to his right and again overthrows the intended receiver. Jacob Mueller on the crossing route.
Pass is incomplete to number
Coverage
6.
by Demetrius Herndon.
Maroons hold, and they'll take over.
And the Maroons take over on downs with 8:25 to go in the first half. And both teams struggling offensively here in this second quarter. Cherney back out and laboring on that ankle of his. And now he's going to drop under center, I formation behind him. And he fumbles on the snap, and it's recovered by West Genesee.
And looks like West Genesee has recovered. Looks like number 58 Furback on the recovery.
Devin Furbeck with the recovery is
Wildcats first and 10.
the snap from Pete Prue to
8-yard line.
Cherney just didn't connect, and Troy couldn't get on the loose ball, and West Genny has a first down at the Auburn 28. Two receivers wide right to the near side. Ball on the far hash. McNeil gives it to Brumfield, and he's wrapped up in the backfield and is going to lose
Brumfield, the ball carrier, taking it back.
7 yards. They're going to mark him down at the 45-yard line.
Stop for the Wild for Auburn.
They can't figure it out.
Benson leading the pursuit.
It's a 3-3 sack, I guess. They only sent 4 guys. I got you, man.
Second down, 17 to go.
What'd you call here?
7:45 and counting left in the first half. Two receivers near side, one to the far side, two backs beside McNeil. And he's going to throw left side, has a man open, and it is caught.
McNeil's pass is complete.
And that was Mueller.
Number 6.
And Deshaun Strachan says they hit the turf.
This is a big first down.
But the officials rule it a completion, and Mueller down at the Auburn 9.
West Genesee, first down from the...
And it's first and goal.
Joe, what do you have?
First and goal.
It was a perfectly thrown ball by McNeil, who drops under center for the first time this afternoon. Hand off to Brumfield, right side, and he spins for a pickup of maybe a yard. Good pursuit by the left side of the defense, led by Omar Bailey. Second down, 9. 6:35 and counting to go in the half. West Genny down 6-2. back under center.
Up top, inside and tackle.
3-back
We
set.
got it, Joe. We got it.
Toss sweep to Brunfield around the left side. Has some blocking, has some room, and he is to the end zone for the touchdown.
Brumfield and a kick from quarterback McNeil. That's second
And with
for
6:14 to
9
go
yards
in the
for
first half,
a score for
the Wildcats
West
go on
County.
top 8-6.
Joseph, can you hear me?
West County leads
Hey,
8
say no
to
just
6.
yet. We got to put tough, strong 25 tied wide. We don't have to pull anybody because they're overloading to the offset fullback.
Scott Furo on to attempt the point after.
Furo.
Without pulling.
For the point after touchdown.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And his kick is up. And it is good.
Kick is up and good.
So Brumfield on the 9-yard run around the end for the touchdown. The point after
6:14 left
makes
here
it
until halftime.
9-6 for West Genesee with 6:14 to go in this first half. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back with Auburn Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
Joe. Joe. Josephine. Joseph. Josephine. Don't forget if we get down to it. I don't know if you want to give me that slant wheel there.
Here,
Tim, if you
kicking off for West Genny.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bubble, but if you slice it, just make sure the
Goldsmith
safety
and Strachan back for the Maroons.
they're number 4. That's who they've been stretching the field to.
Nice.
Delmar Goldsmith on the kickoff return out to the Auburn 36-yard line. And after the fumble recovery at the Auburn 28, West Genesee 4 plays
There's your fullback.
for 28 yards, a 9-yard sweep for the touchdown by Brumfield. Furo with the point after, and it's 9-6 for the Wildcats. This all started with the punt that was down by the Wildcats at the Auburn 2-yard line, and the wheels just fell off after that as Cherney back out under center. And he'll toss it to Eli Benson. Benson around the left side and dances down the sideline to the 43-yard line. 7-yard pickup for Eli.
Shanza on the stop for West Genny.
And that's going to bring up
That's
second down
game,
and 3.
seven.
Clock stopped with 6:01 to go in this first half. And the Maroons trying to get something going here in this second quarter. Got a safety against them. And a fumble on the first play of their next possession. There's a handoff. And up the middle is Jeremiah Phillips. And Phillips, a yard shy of the first down, pickup of 2 will bring up 3rd and 1.
Ball carrier. Gains 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1. From the Auburn.
Coach is obviously protecting Cherney on his ankle, having him work under center rather than out of the gun.
Watch ISO. Watch the fullback trap.
I formation behind him, and he's going to keep it.
We stopped it.
Puts his head down, and I'm not sure he got it as he is driven back.
That's going to be
Cherney
my
on the
heavy yard.
quarterback keeper.
And they're going to mark him short of the first down stick by about a half a yard.
Matonza and Becker on the staff for West Genny.
So that's going to bring up fourth and short.
It appears to be short of the
Just
first
under 5
down.
minutes to go in this
Bring up
first
fourth
half. And
and
Cherney
about one.
comes to the sideline, get the play. And Auburn's going to take a timeout and talk things over. 4:43 left in the first half. It is West Genesee 9 and Auburn 6. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with Maroons football from Holland Stadium on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
Last week was 40, and they went to chili sweet or whatever.
4:43 left in a tough second quarter for the Auburn Maroons, and they face a fourth and a little less than a yard to go at their own 45-yard line with
Tim,
Troy Cherney struggling just a little bit.
tell, watch tight end, watch tight end, watch tight end.
Ball just inside the near hash as the Maroons go right to left.
Jamie, if you pick this up, this will be huge.
Split I formation behind Cherney, who's back under center again. And a toss sweep, Eli Benson to the left side, and just gets past the first down yardage as he was being dragged down by Colin McCavin. And he was able to break free and is down at his 48-yard line, but that's enough to move the sticks. Good effort by Eli, his second carry of the possession. And it's 1st and 10 Maroons, under 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Now Cherney's going to work out of the gun. He's got Phillips to one side, Benson to the other. Little crisscross, and Troy's going to keep it, and he'll gallop up the middle. And he's got first down yardage and more inside the 40 to the 38. 14 yards for Cherney, straight up the middle.
Becker on the stop for West Jenny.
And it's 1st and 10 Auburn. Under 4 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Ball just inside the far hash as the Maroons go left to right here in this second quarter. Cherney back under center, I formation behind him. Phillips the up back. Benson the tailback. And a toss sweep to Eli. He cuts it off tackle, and he's got room. He's at the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Auburn! Eli Benson, 38 yards off left tackle for the score. And with 3:21 left in the half, it's 12-9 Auburn.
Ahead, 12-9.
Great job by the left side of the Auburn line to seal the edge. And Benson turned it up just inside the tackle. And the Maroons are going to go for 2.
Benson. Auburn gets on the board once again.
No, stay now.
Troy out of the gun. 2 receivers each side. Phillips in the backfield. And Cherney has to step away from the rush. And now he'll take it in for the conversion.
Cherney taking in himself for the 2-point conversion. And the Maroons lead it 14-9.
And with 3:21 left in the first half, the 38-yard touchdown and the 2-point conversion puts Auburn on top 14-9. We'll take a 1-minute break. Be back with more Maroons football from Holland Stadium on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Eli Benson with the kickoff, and that one is going to go out of bounds on the far side. And Eli with the 38-yard run for the touchdown. Troy Cherney, the 2-point conversion. 3:21 to go in the first half, and the Maroons respond to the touchdown by Brumfield with a 64-yard, 7-play drive.
What do you got, Joe?
26.
And it is 14-9. The penalty on the kickoff out of bounds is going to put the football at the 35 of West Genesee. Troy Cherney gutting it out offensively at quarterback.
Tim, when I chart stuff, I chart
Obviously
straight.
feeling the effects of the ankle injuries sustained during the basketball season. And Braden McNeil, his opposite, goes to work for the Wildcats, passing on first down. A little dump pass on the screen, and Brumfield wrapped up in the backfield for a huge loss.
It was there. Oh my God.
Omar Bailey with the tackle.
To Brumfield is complete. Taken down for a loss by Mackay Bailey.
Loss on the play is 6.
And a loss of about 6 or 7.
Xavier Brumfield has had a tough first half for the Wildcats. Second down 16 at the 29. 2:40 and counting to go in the half. And Brumfield again trying to find some running room, and again he is wrapped up. He'll keep the legs churning and get out to the 32, it looks like, for a pickup of about 3.
Fremont Daniels on the tackle for Auburn.
Daniels on the stop for the Maroons. Clock down to 2:20 and counting, and it's third down and 13 for the Wildcats.
15 for West Jennings.
This might be. You got nothing else here.
Ball on the far hash. 2 receivers to the near side of the field. 2 back set beside McNeil. 2-step drop to pass, looking over the middle. And it is intercepted. Deshaun Strachan playing center field in his safety position, and a short pass by McNeil.
Taken out of bounds at about the West Jennings.
Deshaun had some running room, but he slipped on the turf. And they're going to mark him down at the Auburn 47-yard line.
Will take over. First and 10.
150 to go in the half. We'll see if Cherney can capitalize on the turnover. Ball on the far hash. Cherney back in the gun. Phillips to his left, Benson to his right. High snap. Troy takes it down, and he's going to launch one down the near sideline. And that one almost intercepted. It was intended for Strachan, and coverage
Journey's pass is incomplete
by Ben Chamberlain, and Chamberlain almost got a little turned around. Otherwise, he'd have had a chance for the pick on the short pass by Cherney, throwing into the wind. 1:44 to go. Second and 10 at the Auburn 47. Strachan comes into the huddle with the play, and he'll come wide left to the near side. Morris goes to the far side. Cherney under center. I formation behind him. Toss sweep. Here's Benson off the left side again. And he's got some room, and he gets tripped up and falls over the 45 to the 44. And that's going to be a yard short of the first down. So another 9-yard run for Eli. And he's having an afternoon with the 38-yard touchdown gallop. 1:25 and counting to go. And it's third and a short one at the West Genesee 44-yard line.
Coming up for Auburn. Ball resting at the 44-yard line.
Cherney under center, I formation. Phillips the up back, Benson at the tailback, and there is Phillips with it, and he's into the line. Good second effort, and he picks up 2, and that's enough to move the chains with 57 seconds left in the half.
Has enough yardage for the first down. Renzi on the stop for West Jenny.
Renzi on the stop as Cherney operates without the huddle. And he'll drop back into the pistol. Clock down to 45. High snap pulled down by Troy. Having to look down the far side for Strachan, and just past his outstretched hands as he had the coverage beat. Chamberlain fell down. And the incomplete pass with 38 seconds left brings up 2nd and 10 at the West Jenny 42. Morris brings the play into Cherney. Seconds on the play clock as Cherney works out of the gun. 2 receivers wide left on the near side. Cherney having a look, has time. Now he's going to step up and runs into his own man, and then picks up maybe a yard as he ran into big Troy Toomey. The 6'3", 400-pound junior. And Cherney again back under center. And he'll spike the ball with 15.8 seconds left in the half. And Auburn now with 3rd down and 9 to go.
Cherney down the ball. 15.8 seconds left on the clock.
Was 2nd down the throw? Is it supposed to be 4th down? Okay.
It's actually 4th down and 9. And with Troy struggling with that ankle, I'm surprised they don't have him just take a knee. But he's going to try for it all. Now he's got to scramble out of the pocket. And he's going to dump it off to Robert Morris. And Morris has some room, picks up a block. And he is going to have a first down at the West Genesee 20-yard line with 4.9 seconds left. And now it's a little closer to the end zone by about half. And just a good job of Troy to step up into the pocket, find Morris wide open on the flat on the right side. And he takes it all the way down to the 20.
They need the end zone.
4.9 seconds left. Auburn's ball at the West Jenny 20-yard line.
Special Cobra.
Ball on the far hash. Cherney in the gun. Benson to his left, 2 receivers each side. Troy scrambling, and he is going to be wrapped up as he throws a prayer up, and wild end to the first half as he was getting spun to the turf. He just threw it up in the air, and it was actually an interception. And all of a sudden, the Auburn coaches were thinking, uh-oh, and there was no return for a touchdown with time expired. So at the end of a wild first half of football here at Holland Stadium, it is Auburn 14 and West Genesee 9. We'll step aside for 3 minutes, come back to the halftime report presented by Michaels and Smolak, Serious Local Attorneys. You're listening to Auburn Maroons football on 1590 AM, 98.1 FM WAUB, and online at FingerLakesDailyNews.com. Well, that was wild.
God bless you. Good job.
Thanks.
What's your name, by the way?
Steve.
Steve, how you doing?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Welcome back to the halftime presented by Michaels and Smolak, Serious Local Attorney Steve Penstone at Holland Stadium. Matt Meckley engineering today's broadcast at the mothership in Geneva, and a wild first half of football. And the Auburn Maroons leading the West Genesee Wildcats by a score of 14-9. The Maroons got off to a good start, and the opening kickoff taken by Deshaun Strachan, and all the way to midfield. He had the ball stripped away from him, but it was recovered by the Maroons at the West Genesee 45, and they went 45 yards in 5 plays, capped off by a 2-yard pass from Troy Cherney to Jeremiah Phillips. The point after attempt by Amelia Bartolotta was wide right, so it was 6-0. And that was the way it was until the second quarter, when the wheels kind of fell off for the Maroons early on, and it started with a West Genesee punt that was down at the Auburn 2-yard line, and that resulted in a safety when Troy Cherney, who is playing on a bum ankle that he tweaked in that first half. He injured the ankle during the basketball season, and it's come back to bother him here in the first half this afternoon. So the safety made it 6-2, and Eli Benson kind of muffed the kickoff, and West Genesee recovered at the Auburn 30-yard line, but could not score. Auburn got the ball back on downs, but on the first play, the snap to Troy Cherney, who was under center, mishandled, and it was recovered at the 28 by West Genesee, and they wound up with a 9-yard toss sweep touchdown run by Xavier Brumfield, and a point after was good, and it was 9-6, but the Maroons came right back, starting at their own 36-yard line. The big play, the 38-yard touchdown run off left tackle by Eli Benson, and then the 2-point conversion by Cherney, and it is 14-9, and that is the way. And then the half ending on a wild play as Cherney, after hooking up with Robert Morris on a long pass down to the West Genesee 20 with 5 and a bit left on the clock, trying to throw to the end zone as he was being wrapped up. The ball ended up going sky high in the air and was actually intercepted by one of the West Genesee defenders, but he didn't get any running room, and that could have been a little difficult had that been returned for a pick six. Mentioned the fact that last week the Maroons game against ESM was canceled, actually, after I believe one of the coaching staff at East Syracuse Manoa was diagnosed or tested positive for COVID. That game has been rescheduled for April 13th. So the way the schedule looks after tonight, next Saturday, the Maroons will be at Jamesville DeWitt at noon, and we are waiting to hear from JD as to whether I can broadcast that from outside the stadium, or outside the press box, rather. Then April the 8th, a Thursday night homecoming game, 6 o'clock here at the stadium as Central Square comes south to take on the Maroons. And then on April 13th, a Tuesday at 6 o'clock, the Maroons will go to East Syracuse Manoa Stadium for the remake of that game from last Friday night. Then 4 days later, on Saturday the 17th, at 1:30, they'll be back here at Holland Stadium to take on CBA. And of course, West Genesee beat the Brothers 33-32 last Friday night. And that game, that was on Saturday. And it was a last-second stop of a 2-point conversion attempt by the Brothers that gave the Wildcats the win. And then the season wraps up April the 21st. That is a Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, and that'll be at Fayetteville Manlius. And we have been told that at ESM and at FM, I will be able to broadcast from outside the press box, and hopefully the weather is going to cooperate for those 2 games. And hopefully we'll be bringing you the action next Saturday at noon from JD. So short football season, but boy, if this first half is any indication, it's going to be an interesting one for sure, with the Maroons on top of West Genesee 14-9, at the half here at Holland Stadium. And we'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the second half action, the halftime report presented by Michaels and Smolak, Serious Local Attorneys. You're listening to Auburn Maroons football on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com. You got room, guys?
Right behind you.
Okay. There we go. Got any stats that I can throw out?
Here, so you got Cherney's rush for 7 for 53.
7 runs, 53.
Yep, Benson 5 runs, 58, and a TD.
Yep.
Troy's 4 of 9 passing for 44 yards and a touchdown. With Phillips with the lone touchdown.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it. Thanks.
Yep.
That looks like Madden 95, doesn't it? Yeah.
So like the star, like you gotta put. It's tough.
I wondered how his ankle was going to be. 'Cause what did he miss? 5, 6 basketball games?
Yeah.
And Dave said they kept him out of.
I know he wasn't practicing for a while.
Yeah. Auburn Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak, Serious Local Attorneys. This third quarter coming up, brought to you by Lions National Bank. Discover banking that's all about people. By Cayuga Health, the right care right here. And by Mark's Pizzeria. They treat you like family at Mark's. Team's just wrapping up their warm-up before second half action gets underway. West Genesee won the toss and declined to the second half, so they will have the football as we get set to get underway. Taking a look at some stats from the first half. Troy Cherney, 4 of 9 through the air for 44 yards and a 2-yard touchdown toss to Jeremiah Phillips. He ran 7 times for 53 yards, a lot of them coming on the ankle. It is clearly bothering him here this afternoon. One he injured, I believe it's the one he injured playing basketball. And Eli Benson, 5 carries, 58 yards. And the big one, of course, the 38-yard run off tackle for the touchdown that put the Maroons back on top. 2-point conversion by Cherney. And it is 14-9 Auburn as we get set for second half action. Going to have to give Superintendent Jeff Pirozzolo a piece of my mind. He, when I had him on and was talking to him, he was planning on coming up at halftime to chat, but be that as it may. And of course, The big news this week, the state relaxing the attendance numbers. You can now put 200 people here in the stands. And there's a pretty good West Genesee crowd over on the other side. And from up here, can't see the size of the Auburn crowd, but I'm pretty certain it's about as big. Eli Benson has the ball teed up at the near hash marks. The Maroons will go left to right here in this third quarter. The wind dying down a bit, coming out of the north at the backs of the Maroons.
Kick off here in the second half.
That's who it is. No, it's not.
Renzi
And we are underway as Benson with a booming kick.
Come on.
Renzi at his 10, straight up the middle. And he gets taken down and falls forward to the 33, but coming up
Renzi kicks it back
a little
to
banged
the
up is Zaire Morris as he reached out and made the arm tackle. Otherwise, Renzi might have
30-yard line
been
where
on his way to 6.
start
So they'll mark him down at the West Genesee 30. Wildcat coaches thought they were going to be celebrating a touchdown. I've got the Wildcat coaches to my left, the Maroon coaches to my right. And Braden McNeil goes to work. He had a tough first half trying to hit his receivers. There's a handoff, and Brumfield off the right side, and he gets outside the 30 to just shy of the 35-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of 4. And he has had some tough running against this Auburn defense.
Stop for Auburn.
He had 29 carries for 170 yards and 2 TDs against CBA last weekend, and is came into this game with 2,002 career yards on the ground, 16 touchdowns. And he's found some tough yardage to pick up here today. McNeil in the gun. And a 2-step drop. Now he's going to step up, and he is tripped up. Good tackle
McNeil tripped up on the play
by Omar Bailey, and Bailey's had a game on defense for the Maroons, and that could have been dangerous as McNeil had some running room, and shoot top tackle by Bailey. Pickup of just 2. And so that brings up 3rd down and 4 with a minute and a half gone in this third quarter. West Jenny going right to left. Louise goes in motion to the far side. McNeil looking near side and overthrows the intended receiver, Jake Mueller, by about
incomplete.
20 yards, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Number 6, Mueller.
And McNeil just has not been able to dial in his receivers here this afternoon. That one wasn't even close. Deshaun Strachan back around his 35-yard line. And Nelson Hudgens, big tight end, will stand at his 22 to punt it away.
Hutchins back.
Hudgens line drive kick. Strachan takes it on one hop at the 30 to the 40. Gets some blocks out to midfield into West Genesee territory and out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Good run back by Deshaun.
Marino on the stop.
They'll mark it at the 44. And Cherney will go to work again on the West Genesee side of midfield. Auburn going left to right. Ball on the near hash. 2-back set, Cherney in the gun. Benson to his right, Phillips to his left. And a fake, and Troy's going to run it up the middle. Dips his head and plows ahead inside the 40 to the 38.
Wilsmeyer, the stop for West Jenny.
Pickup is 7.
7 on that play. Will bring up
Second down,
and
3 to go.
with the West Jenny.
Cherney now 60 yards on the ground for the Maroons. And an injured West Genesee player heading off. That is Jack Wilmsmeyer, who made the tackle, and he doesn't quite make it over to the West Genesee sideline before he drops to the turf. So we've got an injury timeout with 9 as the clock continues to run down. Now they stop it at 9:16 left in the third quarter. Auburn up 14-9, and we will step aside for the timeout, brought to you by the Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Wheatsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. This is Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes dailynews.com. Wilmsmeyer gets a hand as he is helped to the West Genesee bench by the training staff. Auburn second down, 3 to go from the West Genesee 37-yard line. Cherney up under center, I formation behind him. Ball on the near hash, Auburn going left to right. Back to pass, and has a man open, caught, and then fumbled and picked up by West Genesee. Deshaun Strachan, and now a flag comes out late from the near side official.
But apparently there was a fumble on the play.
Deshaun Strachan had the catch
And there's no one over here for us.
and then was stripped of the ball.
Number 17, Ben Chamberlain.
Chamberlain with the fumble recovery at the West Genesee 16-yard line, and
Possibly thrown from this side of the field.
wild action continues here in the second half. 8:57 to go as the officials gather to sort this one out.
This guy threw it.
Official was on the near side, threw the ball, or threw the flag rather. And the penalty is going against Auburn, and it is a catch, a fumble, and a fumble recovery by West Genesee. Second fumble recovery by the Wildcats.
I know. What are we doing?
Not sure what the penalty was for, but it brings the ball out to the 32-yard line.
No, definitely. I'm just saying, pick the ball up and go.
And the Wildcats go back to work after the turnover on the fumble by Deshaun Strachan, after a nice catch on the far sideline. There's Brumfield straight up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 3 yards to the 35.
Mahonic on the stop for Auburn.
Connor Mahunick on the stop for the Maroons.
There's a gain of 3 on that play. Will bring up second down and 7.
8.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Ball on the far hash. 2 receivers to the far side of the field. And a toss sweep, Brumfield around the left side. He's got some room, and he is out to midfield, and he'll step out of bounds at his own 49. Chased out by Strachan.
Has more than enough for the Wildcats first down. Ran out.
14 yards for Brumfield, his longest run of the night.
Strachan.
And it'll be first and 10 West Jenny at their 49 with 8:11 to go.
At their own 49-yard line.
Yeah, I know. Let's go. Let's go. Yes.
Ball on the near hash. 2 receivers wide right. Motion man is Mueller. And the handoff to Brumfield. He's got some room off left tackle. And he is wrapped up by Omar Bailey inside Auburn territory at the 47. So that's a pickup of 4 by Brumfield. Runs of 3, 14, and 4 yards for Brumfield. Moving West Jenny from their 32 to the Auburn 47. Second down, 6 to go. McNeil in the gun. 3-step drop. Here comes the blitz, and he'll step up, and he's got some room to go. 40, and out of bounds inside the 35 at the 33 as the blitz came, and he was able to step up and pick up the first down.
Yeah, he's doing well. Kill that one.
14 yards for McNeil,
Of the 14-yard pickup. It'll be first
and it's first and 10 at the Auburn 33, 7:25 to go in the third quarter.
33-yard line.
This drive started at the West Genesee 32. Fifth play of the drive. Brumfield off right tackle, and he's got some room. And he gallops all the way down to the 15-yard line before he's gang tackled. And the West Genesee line winning the battles right now, opening the hole for Brumfield.
For Auburn.
17 yards for Brumfield, his fourth carry
17-yard pickup for Brumfield.
of the drive that started at the West Genesee 32. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. And the Wildcats inside the red zone. Ball right in front of the uprights. Brumfield behind McNeil, who's in the pistol. Hudgens shifts to the right side. Toss sweep to Brumfield around the right side. And he gets it turned up. And he is down to the 10-yard line. He's going to be a couple of yards short of the first down.
The 10-yard line where he's taken down. Morris on the stop for Auburn.
Robert Morris on the stop for the Maroons, but it's a second down
On
and
that play, it'll bring up second down and
4 on a 6-yard carry by Brumfield. Fifth carry by him on the drive. McNeil with the other. And this time it is Mueller, and Mueller turns the corner, gets inside the 5, and is driven out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Mueller on the end around coming from his right flanker position. Driven out of bounds with 5:59 to go.
Mueller taken out of bounds at about the
And it's first and goal from the 2.
from the 2-yard line.
Peter, other side.
Ball on the near hash. McNeil under center. And the handoff to Brumfield. And second effort, and he is in for the touchdown as
Brumfield.
the Maroons had hats on him, but they just could not wrap him up. And Jacob Brumfield goes in from 2 yards out.
15-14 here in the third quarter.
And it is 15-14 with 5:52 left in the third quarter.
Touchdown run.
6 carries for Brumfield on the drive that started at the West Genesee 32. They're going to go for 2 points. McNeil stands under center. Power I formation behind him. Toss sweep, Brumfield trying the right side. Bounces off one tackle, and he's not going to make it to the end zone. Good pursuit by the left side, Robert Morris,
Conversion is short, tackled
with the
by
stop on Brumfield, but he takes it in from 2
about
yards
1
out.
yard line.
And with 5:52 to go in the third quarter, West Genesee goes back on top 15-14. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. Be back to Maroons football from Holland Stadium on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. he just got one arm?
Fiera kicking off for West Jenny.
Short kickoff, and the Wildcats recover at midfield. I don't believe this.
Wait, they called Auburn ball.
Well, they call it Auburn football
Auburn ball. Guys,
as the
guys, they called
short
Auburn
kick by
football.
Fiera bounced off
Oh, there they
Oh,
go. They
okay,
fixed it.
okay.
Omar Bailey. Now they've reversed it, and it is West Genesee football. And Bailey, I don't think, was expecting that. He never even got a hand on it. It just hit him square in the numbers. And the Wildcats dove on the loose ball at midfield. We have seen a little bit of everything here this afternoon. It has been crazy. So McNeil back to work on offense with the Wildcats on top by 1. Rolling to his right. Now he's got some room, and he'll step up. He was over the line, and it is ruled a catch over on the far sideline
McNeil's pass is complete
by
to number 8, Canavelis.
Canavelis with the reception, and from up here it looked like McNeil had stepped across the line of scrimmage, but the officials rule it a catch, and the catch by Canavelis at the Auburn 26-yard line, or make it the 24, pardon me. And we've got a timeout called. 5:39 to go in a wild one here in the third quarter at Holland Stadium with West Jenny up 15-14 over Auburn. We'll step aside for 30 seconds, be back to Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com. Well, just when you thought you'd seen it all here this evening, the kickoff after the touchdown by West Genesee bounces off Omar Bailey right at the midfield line, and West Genesee dives on the loose football. 26-yard pass from McNeil to Canavelis, and West Jenny with a 1st and 10 at the Auburn 24. 5:39 left in the third quarter. Maroons fans trying to fire up the defense. They got off to a great start, but it's been West Genesee here in this second half, and a high snap, toss sweep, and a double reverse. Here is Louise chased into the backfield, and he's able to turn it upfield, and then is driven out of bounds, and a flag comes down at the end of the play.
No, they called it.
And
I know.
boy, I'll tell you, the Hankies have been coming out late all afternoon here this afternoon at Holland Stadium. This is another one thrown by the near side official on something going on the far side. And the penalty is against West Genesee, and I think that was on a chop block, and the flag wasn't thrown for a number of seconds after personal foul called. So we'll see where the football is marked. All this with 5:28 left in a crazy third quarter. Spot of the foul was the Auburn 37-yard line, so this is going to take the ball all the way back into West Jenny territory at their 49. So the double reverse that would have picked up a first down goes for naught, and it is first and a ton from the West Genesee 49-yard line. The first down marker is at the Auburn 14. McNeil out of the gun. And he's going to keep it straight up the middle. And he spins away from the tackle and then is wrapped up in the secondary by Jeremiah Phillips. He'll spot it down at the 41. Phillips a little slow to get up. And Jeremiah Phillips is shaken up. So with the injury timeout, we'll step aside. The timeout brought to you by Whitechapel Funeral Homes of Weedsport and Auburn. Learn more at whitechapelfh.com. 5:06 to go in the third quarter. West Genesee 15, Auburn 14. This is Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
This is Joe.
Run it well.
30 seconds,
Joe,
Matt.
Joe. Tell the number 3. I got you. Go. Just go. Take it.
Jeremiah Phillips up and off under his own steam, and that's a good sign. He had the opening touchdown on the opening drive for the Maroons, a 2-yard catch from Troy Cherney. And West Genesee 2nd and 22 at the Auburn 41-yard line. Wildcats going right to left, 4:55 left here in this third quarter. McNeil in the gun. 2-step drop, here comes the pursuit, and he's going to throw that one away into the West Genesee bench. And another late flag by the referee as McNeil was not outside the tackle according to the ref. And there wasn't a receiver within about 20 yards of where that ball sailed out at the Wildcat bench. So intentional grounding called against McNeil. Second penalty of this drive, the personal foul, wiping out a big run by the Wildcats, which would have had first down implications inside the Auburn 15-yard line. And right now the ball sits at the West Genesee 45.
West Genesee called for intentional grounding on that pass.
So it's going to be third down and 41 yards to go for the Wildcats. Ball spotted on the far hash.
Third down and about 41.
McNeil again in the gun. Brumfield to his left. And McNeil keeps, and he sprints up the middle. Breaks a couple of tackles, and then still on his feet. Finally wrapped up and thrown to the ground by Deshaun Strachan all the way down inside the Auburn 30 at the 29. And now there's another flag down, I believe, over on the far sideline. Yeah, right at midfield, and a holding call on West Genesee. Wipes out that run by quarterback Braden McNeil.
There's a penalty flag on the field.
Play ball, man.
Third penalty of the drive, and the clock stopped at 4:26 left in the third quarter.
Man, what are we doing?
And that'll take the ball back to the West Genesee 40. The chain crew half a football field away. The first down marker at the 14-yard line of Auburn. 4:26 left in the third quarter.
Wildcat ball, the third down, and
They spot the ball on the near hash mark
for the first.
as McNeil sends 3 receivers wide right to the far side of the field.
Careful, he's got a hot dog. Third and 45, Jesus.
McNeil drops, and he's going to be wrapped up by Connor Mahunick And Mahunik with his second sack of the night. And that's going to bring up fourth down. Loss on the play is 2.
88, Mahonik. They'll bring up fourth down.
Under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter as Hudgens stands at his 25 to punt it away. Strachan back at his 30 to receive the punt.
For West Jenny.
We're okay.
Strachan back to receive. For
High snap, and it sails through Hudgens' hands. And loose ball on the turf. Maroons dive on it at the West Genesee 8-yard line. Do you believe this? Well, I'll tell you, I know both teams have not had a lot of time to practice here this spring, but especially with West Genesee surviving a late challenge by CBA last Saturday, I never believed we were going to see what we're seeing here. And the bad snap, Hudgens couldn't come up with it. The Maroons do at the 6-yard line. And it's first and goal for Auburn, trailing 15-14 with 3:11 to go in this third quarter. It has been interesting, to say the least. Ball spotted on the near hash. Journey's going to step under center. I formation, Phillips the up back, Benson the tailback, and
Do you want the corner that far outside?
we got a flag called as looks like
penalty flag on the field.
Zach Galbali was lined up in the neutral zone on the far wing, and a penalty against the Maroons backs it up 5 yards to the 11.
Offsides called against the Maroons.
First and goal from the West Genesee 11.
First and goal, Auburn from the 11-yard line.
Cherney brings him out of the huddle with just 10 seconds left on the play clock. He's going to have to hurry to get this play off. And he does. Here is Phillips up the middle. And he is gang tackled inside the 10. They're going to mark him down at the 6.
Right up the middle. Tackled by Becker.
Becker on the stop for the Wildcats. So that'll bring up second and goal, 2:49 and counting in this third quarter. And Phillips comes out. Three receivers wide left to the far side. Benson the lone backfield beside Cherney. Cherney with a little swing pass out to Deshaun Strachan, and he gets a block. Oh, no, you've got to be kidding me. Galbali's going to be called, I think, for a hold, and the touchdown by Strachan going to be wiped out. Wow. Even the West Genesee coach is saying it was a good block by Zach Galbali.
Don't sell us out. Come on, man. Give me the headphones.
Oh, I call it a face mask.
Okay, well that's good. So,
Never mind.
yeah,
Okay, never mind.
tell West Genesee coach that's a good one.
Penalty
It's early for the officials too.
face mask.
Hey, gotta have some fun with it. Not at the officials' expense, but boy, I didn't see a face mask there. It looked like a good block by Zach, but the penalty is going to bring the ball out to the 16. All the Auburn coaches to my right remaining pretty silent. We're down to just over 2 minutes to go in this wild and wacky third quarter as Cherney brings trips right to the near side. Ball on the far hash. Fake to Benson, and he'll dump it off to Strachan. They try the play to the right side, and he'll get down to the 10-yard line. And down at the 9, 2 minutes to go in the quarter. And it's going to bring up fourth down and goal.
Attack for West Jenny.
You are on the 9.
This all started at the West Genesee 6-yard line after the bad snap on the fourth down punt attempt by Nelson Hudgens. Cherney up under center, I formation behind him, one receiver to each side.
I know what it is too.
And Troy, 3-step drop. To Strachan, touchdown! No flags this time.
Is complete to Deshaun Strachan for the
Cherney
Auburn
with the
first
9-yard toss,
touchdown
his
of the
second
game.
touchdown pass of the afternoon. And Strachan had to turn one way and then the other, but he was behind the defender.
Journey to number 8, Strachan, touchdown.
And with a minute 23 to go in the third quarter, the Maroons go back on top, 20-15.
Maroons will go for the 2-point conversion.
Maroons will go for 2.
We're gonna get a slant.
Troy to pass. Now he's got to scramble. Directing traffic, throws it to the back of the end zone and incomplete.
Journey's pass is incomplete in the end zone.
Intended for Zach Albelli, but it was behind Zach on the end line. So with 1:23 to go,
Maroons lead it, 20-15.
the Maroons have a third quarter 20-15 lead over West Genesee after a, 8 or 9 play drive that started at the Wildcats 6-yard line. We'll take a 1-minute break, be back with more football action from Holland Stadium on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
Who is this guy? What is he doing? Who's number 2?
It's down.
Tom, what?
That's in kicking off for Auburn. Muller and Ferenzi back for the Wildcats. And that kick goes out of bounds at the
Where we getting?
West Jenny 27-yard line. Well, they
Short
will-
kick by Eli Benson spins out of bounds at the West Genesee 27-yard line. 1:22 to go in this third quarter. And the Wildcats will take over at their own 35. So Troy Cherney to Deshaun Strachan, 9 yards for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion, no good. It is 20-15 Maroons with a minute 22 left in the third quarter. And Braden McNeil back to work for the Wildcats. And he'll give it to Brumfield off the right side. And he continues to turn the legs ahead as he drags Jap Pedlichak for an extra 5 yards and picks up 9 on the carry.
Bring up second down and 1.
Maroons defense got off to a good start, but in this second half they've been doing a lot of high tackling that has just not worked.
A lot of penalties stopped them.
Second down, 1 to go. And again, Brumfield, and he dances past the pursuit and breaks into the open. And Brumfield on his horse, one man to beat. And Strachan there to drag him down after Brumfield got by him at about the 30 and gets all the way down to the 15-yard line. And again, some sloppy tackling attempts by the Maroons. And Brumfield makes them pay with his longest run of the afternoon.
Wildcats will have first and 10 at about the
41 yards for Brumfield. And we've got under a half minute to go in this third quarter, and it's first and 10. at the Auburn 15. Make it the 14. McNeil in the shotgun. Brumfield behind him. Louise goes in motion to the right. Toss sweep to Brumfield. The ball's behind him. It's on the turf and the Maroons recover. Pedlipchak with the fumble recovery. And Auburn is going to take over.
Lipchak on the
Wow.
recovery for the Maroons, and they'll take over at their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
1.6 seconds left in the third quarter, and the fumble recovery by Jack Pedlipchak gives Auburn a 1st and 10 at their 20.
Oh my God, look at that. Inadvertent whistle. Whoa, what is he saying?
What? Oh my God. Are you serious?
What is he possibly saying?
Well, I don't no idea what is going on. I heard somebody say inadvertent whistle. Coach Dave Moskoff is out on the field. They've got the ball spotted way back at the Auburn 15-yard line.
And it's first down?
And it's
And it's first down too?
West Genesee football. I have no idea what is going on, folks. West Genesee has a 1st and 10 at the Auburn 15-yard line after a fumble recovery by the Maroons' Jack Pedlipchak. And there goes Brumfield off the right side, and he is wrapped up inside the 10 and about the 6-yard line. And the third quarter ends on one of the most confusing situations that I have seen. And Dave Moskoff is absolutely irate. And well, he should be. Third quarter comes to a close. It is Auburn 20, West Genesee 15, and fourth quarter action coming up from Holland Stadium. You're listening to Maroons football on WAUB and Finger Lakes DailyNews.com.
It'll be second
Dave doesn't go on the field very often.
Really?
2.
I don't blame him.
No.
What's that? Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. No problem. No, not at all. Not at all. Just if we have pop called with it, that's the only thing. But we should be good. It should be, we can't throw the pop anyways right now. So, yeah, that's not a problem at all.
Goal line's in, goal line's in, goal line. Yep, I didn't see 79 in that last one. Yeah, they always are.
Auburn Maroons football presented by Michaels and Smolak, Serious Local Attorneys. This fourth quarter brought to you by Hep Sales. Hep is here to help. And we need some help trying to figure out what happened there at the end of the third quarter. As Auburn is going to take a timeout before West Genesee starts off the fourth quarter with a second down and 2 yards to go at the Auburn 6-yard line after play at the end of the third quarter where Xavier Brumfield fumbled, Jack Pedlipchak recovered, and the Maroons thought they had a first down, and then all of a sudden the officials reversed the decision and gave the ball back to the Wildcats, and nobody up here can understand why that happened. So we start the fourth quarter with Auburn up 20-15. And the Wildcats threatening to go back on top. McNeil's under center, 3-back set. And off to Brumfield. And he's wrapped up in the backfield and is driven back. Good pursuit by the left side of the Maroons defense, and it was finished off by Tremont Daniels.
Number 31, Tremont Daniels.
They're going to mark his forward progress at just outside the 10-yard line.
Third down and about 7.
So that brings up third down, and we'll call it long 6. West Jenny going left to right here in this fourth quarter. The wind still a bit of a factor, although not as strong as it was at the start of the game. And it is at the back of quarterback Braden McNeil. And this time we'll work out of the gun. 2 receivers wide left to the far side, ball on the near hash. Brumfield in behind them. Play action pass, and Mahoonic with his 3rd sack of the night. McNeil rather, taken down at the 24. Connor Mahoonic. Sack number 3. He came into tonight's action 49 tackles and 1 sack, and he has had a whale of a game on defense for the Maroons. Well, McNeil out of the gun on 4th down from the Auburn 24-yard line. And Mahoonic jumped offside.
Offside called against Auburn.
So that'll take it inside the 20 to the 19. Fourth and 15. McNeil calling the audible. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. Low snap, and here comes the pursuit. Now he steps away, and he'll throw to the end zone, and incomplete.
Let's go, D. Protect him.
Intended for Kitavalley's in the end zone and out of his hands. And the Maroons defense comes up big after the reverse decision by the officials at the end of the 3rd quarter. They stop West Genesee and get the ball back for the offense. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 24. Wow, we have seen just about everything here in this first game of spring football. As Troy Cherney under center, I formation behind him. And the handoff to Eli Benson off the right side, and he plows his way out over the 25 to about the 27 for a pickup of 8. Eli's had a great evening,
That is a 9-yard pickup.
including a 38-yard touchdown run.
Bring up 2nd down and 1.
They've gone up top to number 8 twice in this situation.
Call it a pickup of 9. 2nd and 1. 9.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Here's Phillips, and Phillips wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll mark his forward progress at the 30, so that'll be enough to move the chains. And Jeremiah Phillips gets the 1st down.
It is a Auburn 1st down after a gain of 1.
Auburn going right to left here in the 4th. Ball spotted on the far hash. Cherney steps under center. Again, the I formation, 1 receiver to each side. Toss sweep, Benson left side. Off left tackle, has some room, and he is out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Another big pickup for Eli, 8 yards.
Burris on stop for West Jenny.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 2 at the Auburn 38. 8:44 left in the 4th quarter. Cherney's going to work out of the gun. Phillips to his left, Benson to his right. Quick hitch pass to Deshaun Strachan on the far sideline. He's got first down yardage and more, and he is out of bounds at the Auburn 45-yard line, so a pickup of 6 is enough to move the sticks.
Another Auburn first down. Forenzi on the stop for West Jenny.
Clock stops with 8:36 to go. Ball on the far hash. Galbelli splits wide right to the far side. Strachan to the near side. Here comes the blitz. And Journey slipped in the backfield and is going to lose 4 yards on the, or 3 yards on the play, pardon me.
And a loss of 3 yards on the play.
So it's 2nd and 13 at the Maroons 42. 8 minutes to go in regulation time. Auburn up 20-15.
Tell Vinny to help over here.
Journey under center. And the counter to Benson, and Benson in the open territory. And all the way down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, Eli Benson.
Burris on the stop for West Jenny.
20-yard gallop for Benson.
It is a 20-yard run for Benson.
And it's 1st and 10 Auburn. 7.5 minutes to go, and the ball spotted at the West Jenny 39.
Auburn 1st and 10 at the West Jenny 39-yard line.
Just yell them on their side. Just yell them now on their side. Same play. Same play.
Your way. Your way.
Journey goes under center. I formation. Hand off to Benson, straight up the middle. Flag comes down. And Benson wrapped up down around the 35-yard line. This could be a hold against Auburn. Chop block on the Maroons. .6:59 left, 4th quarter. On a wild night of football here at Holland Stadium on the season opener for the Maroons. Spot of the foul is the West Jenny 40, so 15-yard penalty will bring it back to the Auburn 45. And it's going to be first down and 25 yards to go.
Chop block penalty called against the Maroons.
Journey in the gun. And he'll fake it to Benson, takes it himself up the middle. Still on his feet as he crosses midfield down to the 46 of West Genesee.
Vote on the stop for the Wildcat.
9-yard pickup for Troy.
9-yard pickup for the Maroons.
And that'll bring up 2nd down and 18 to go. Again, Cherney out of the gun. Strachan to the near side, Galbelli to the far side. Troy to pass, and he'll flare it out to the far side, Robert Morris. And coming up to make the tackle short of the original line of scrimmage. Great open field tackle by Dominic Burris, the sophomore, as he just took the feet right out from underneath Morris, and he is down at the West Jenny 41, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 12. with 5:20 and counting left here in the fourth quarter. Auburn up 20-15. Morris had Burris to beat, and he was on his way to the end zone. Journey out of the gun. And he's going to roll left, dumps it off. Strachan takes it, and he's got some room down to the 20, inside the 15, still on his feet. And down to the 10-yard line. Great run after the catch for Deshaun Strachan. And it'll be first down Maroons. And Strachan comes up hobbling and heads to the sideline. Spotted just outside the 10, so the Maroons can get the first down. Great run after the catch by Deshaun.
And the stop for West Jenny.
And a nice little dump pass by Troy Cherney. And Strachan on the bench trying to shake off whatever's bothering him. Cherney under center, I formation. Toss sweep to Benson around the left side behind Phillips. And he gets a block from Morris to the end zone. Touchdown! Eli Benson getting some great blocks from Jeremiah Phillips and Robert Morris, and Benson in for another score. And with 4:09 to go in the fourth quarter, it's 26-15 Maroons.
Maroons take the lead, 26-15.
11-yard run for Eli. And again, the Maroons will go for two. Amelia Bartolotta missed on the point after attempt on the first touchdown of the game on the first possession by Auburn, and since then the Maroons have been going for two, and now we get a flag against Auburn.
Against the Maroons for
illegal substitution. 4:09 left. This drive started at the Auburn 24-yard line. Journey brings the Maroons out of the huddle, and he'll step under center. Three-back set. Play action, and Troy's going to roll right. And he'll walk into the end zone for the two-point conversion. And with 4:09 to go, it is now 28-15 Auburn. And we'll step aside for 1 minute, come back to Maroons football at Holland Stadium on WAUB and FingerLakesDailyNews.com. 1 minute, Matt, if I didn't say it there.
Benson kicking off
Yeah,
for Auburn.
he should be the six-man side. What's he doing? Move him over.
Renzi and Mueller back for West Jenny.
Well, Eli Benson puts another kick out of bounds, and he's had a tough night kicking the football, not running it though. He's got 2 touchdowns on the night. This last one, 11 yards on the ground. Troy Cherney with the 2-point conversion. 4:09 left in the fourth, and it is 28-15 Auburn, and Journey back out on defense at the safety position as West Jenny goes to work from their 35. McNeil looking and calling an audible. 10 seconds on the play clock. And he's going to carry it. He's wrapped up and tossed to the ground by Connor Mahunik, and that's another sack. Fourth of the night for Mahunik. And what a night he's had at his defensive end position. Loss on the play is 2.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Come on. We're not playing 5 quarters here. Let's go.
Under 4 minutes to go. 3:45 and counting.
We're down 2 scores, guys. Let's
Maroons
go.
up by 13. 2 receivers to each side. The ball right in the middle of the field for McNeil. Brumfield in the backfield. McNeil to pass. Steps up in the pocket, and he's going to be wrapped up at the original line of scrimmage. They'll mark him down just outside the 35 at the 36. So a 1-yard pickup, making a 3-yard pickup. And it is 3rd down and 9 to go. Under 3 minutes left.
Let's go.
And again, McNeil steps back, calls an audible. Now he steps up in the pocket and has some room to run. He's out near midfield, still on his feet and out of bounds in Auburn territory. Good run by Braden McNeil to the Auburn 49, and that'll move the sticks.
Inside the 50-yard line to about the Auburn.
15-yard pickup by McNeil, and Auburn in a prevent defense with 2:33 to go in regulation time, up by 2 scores.
That's a first down for the Wildcats.
They can't be too soft defensively. 1st and 10 at their 49. Still lots of time for the Wildcats. McNeil to pass. And he's wrapped up again in the backfield as he is met by about 4 Maroons. And it was Matt Donovan coming in with the initial contact.
Host of Auburn tacklers.
Another sack for the Maroons.
They'll bring up 2nd down.
And it's 2nd down and 15 from the 46 of West Genesee. 2 minutes to go, and the West Jenny receivers a little over anxious. Procedure call on all 4 of them, and that'll take it back 5 yards. 2 minutes left, and it's going to be 2nd down and 20 from the West Jenny 41.
We're going to start the clock, guys. What are we doing? Guys, what are we doing? What are we huddling
Two
for?
receivers to each side of the field, minute 45 and counting, 10 on the play clock. And McNeil to pass, here comes the pursuit. He's chased to the far side and airs it out down the sideline and knocked out of bounds by Robert Morris as McNeil threw in the triple coverage on the far side. And that stops the clock with 1:33 left. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 20. This game has been back and forth. It has had every strange occurrence you could think of. And some good football by the Auburn Maroons and also by the Wildcats. 1:33 to go. McNeil to pass again over the middle, and he has wide open Nick Louise, and Louise gets drilled to the turf by Troy Cherney. And that's going to bring up fourth down and
Taken down on a strong hit by
7
George
yards to
Turner.
go for the Wildcats as the clock continues to wind down. 1:10 left. McNeil has to scramble once again, chased by Mahunik. And he'll throw it, and it is... That should be an incomplete pass on the far sideline. Clock stopped with a minute left. And they rule it an incomplete pass, and it is turned over on downs.
Wolves take over.
And the Auburn fans celebrating as the defense comes off the field with a minute to go in regulation time.
These guys see themselves as Sunday morning.
Yeah, Monday morning quarterback.
They're on Sundays, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Just trying to keep up with everything that's been going on here is going to be a little difficult. I got 2 pages of plays. But the Maroons, you know, they didn't have a whole lot of practice. As Coach said in the pregame, Troy Cherney's been playing on a bum ankle, and he steps under center. He's had a whale of a game. Connor Mahunik defensively. Here is Davari Agee back in the game, and he'll plow across midfield and keep the clock running. We're under a minute to go. And Troy Cherney can bring the Maroons out of the huddle, take a knee, and this one will be in the books. And a good start to the season for Auburn. Final seconds of a wild and woolly start to the football season as Troy takes a knee. And the Maroons celebrate as they defeat the West Genesee Wildcats by a score of 28 to 15.
A lot of things are fixed, but you know, at the end of the day, it's job, guys. Thank you to play everything played, you know.
Yeah, no, you guys do well. You guys are coached well, man.
And we'll step aside for 3 minutes, come back and wrap things up from Holland Stadium. You're listening to Auburn Maroons football on 1590 AM, 98.1 FM WAUB, and online at FingerLakesDailyNews.com.